afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Grimaldi Forum here in Monaco as we get ready for the group stage draw of the first season of the UEFA Europa League.
Chris, it's going to be emotional, isn't it?
Oh, well, it has to be, doesn't it? I mean, David would be one of the first to tell you that he's a lifelong Manchester United fanatic. And despite 7 years apart, he hasn't lost any love for this club, or indeed vice versa, as you could see from the reaction he got as he landed at Manchester Airport. You've lifted this trophy twice in the last 3 years. Are you starting to get that cup final feeling again?
Yeah, no, of course, desperate.
You look obviously disappointed. This was a major target for you this year, wasn't it?
We now view the semi-final in a different way now.
Does that mean you might reconsider your team selection for that?
Well, some of them are playing there will not be playing anyway, that's for sure.
It's hard enough battling against one Mr. Ferguson all season. Now you've got another one today. Preston confused a few of the local press this week by putting John Parkin, their striker, up at the usual pre-match press conference. He's even on the front page of today's match programme, and yet he only gets a place on the bench today. Could that be some managerial mind games from Preston's new boss? He is a Ferguson after all.
Here's Chris.
Yes, I think that's the most bizarre sport handover we've had, certainly this week anyway.
Go on, Chris, knock him dead.
Thank you very much, Peter. Well, anyway, moving swiftly on. So he's been on loan from Manchester United all season. Oh, I'm in trouble now.
Go on,
now
Chris, I'm with you.
He switched from red to blue. Do you want to read the next bit?
The goalkeeper has signed a 5-year deal after moving from Old Trafford for around £3 million. Meanwhile...
Have you come over to Liverpool much at all?
No, first time.
Well, in that case, you're going to hear a lot of Scouse, which is the Liverpool twang, and the accents here today. We've actually written down a few Scouse phrases there.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to try your hand at just reading the number one there.
The toffees all sound the savvy. Ta, la, that's, boss, that.
OK, number two, that means thank you, my friend. That's fantastic news. Well, what happened at Hillsborough started a clamour for all-seater stadia, not just in the UK, but all across Europe. And yet, just a short journey away, terraces are thriving. So why are these terraces safer? Well, the theory is that throughout this stand, there are barriers every 4 or 5 steps down, which means that should overcrowding occur, or if fans should start to surge forward, then the pressure at your back equates to about the weight of 4 or 5 people, as opposed to 400 or 500. It's the first day of the new season, and everyone inside Goodison Park is full of hope and optimism. Everyone except Mark Halsey. Just 24 hours earlier, he'd learned he had cancer.
I'd had a lot of a soreness in my throat and my ear, and I went to see the specialist on the Friday where he told me I had cancer.
Message of support for ref battling cancer with Gary Megson, that one.
Supporting a loved one with cancer is hard. For wife Michelle, it's tougher than most. She has leukemia. It was diagnosed on New Year's Eve. Their story has touched the whole football community. This text message reads, "I heard about your illness today. Hope you're okay, and I'll pray for you every night." It's from Wayne Rooney. They've turned Wembley Way into a sea of tangerine. The fans certainly have Premier League class. They believe they've a team to match.
It's how we at Wembley. I'm still dreaming, I think.
I've got the hat because I'm ginger and a bit fair. I burn easy.
Are you nervous about today then? How are you feeling? Yeah, it's hard to bite your fingernails in one of those, isn't it? Wearing that outfit, are you expecting the final score to be 2-2 today?
2-2. Very good. That was very quick for a man.
Oh, that's a fair point, I suppose. Well, the reality of it has just sunk in. Next season, they can look forward to going to the likes of Anfield, Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford. Their tangerine dream has come true. Moments away from topping the bill in Madison Square Garden. What's going through your mind right now?
You know, at the moment I'm just nice and relaxed and chilled out.
Well, Amir's clearly not worried about upsetting the locals. His opponent, Paulie Malignaggi, comes from just this side of the Brooklyn Bridge. This is his turf. Was geography not your strongest subject at school?
It wasn't the strongest, no, and that's why I'm asking, what's that building, what's that bridge, where are we now? What's that statue called? The Statue of Liberty, yes, there, statue.
As the players walk out, they've all been given cards to hold up saying for Sir Matt. That's because yesterday would have been Sir Matt Busby's 100th birthday. Joining me now is a man who won the trophy when it was Sir Matt's 90th birthday, Teddy Sheringham. How are your nerves holding up? Mine are shot already. United's very history is dominated by years ending in 8. They were formed in 1878. Their first league title came in 1908. They won the FA Cup in 1948 and their first European Cup in 1968. Now, I know what you're thinking. United's biggest recent triumph was in 1999, but any bingo caller worth his salt will have spotted the irony in the pre-match entertainment. That's right, one fat lady, number 8.
Let's get ready to rumble!
But you know, that phrase has been copyrighted, so if I tried to say it would cost up to $10,000 in fines just for saying, let's get ready to... Tell you what, it's the last time I say, let's get ready. Yes, welcome back to a packed part 2. There's still plenty to come from Andy and Nigel, but instead of looking ahead, let's take a trip back in time now to 1984. Thanks, Fernando. A novelty beach ball played a major part in Sunderland's winning goal at the Stadium of Light. So, should it have been disallowed, or has the whole thing been blown up too far? This is what they laughingly call light contact work. The technique here is to hit the pads at the weakest point. I soon realised the weakest point was me. Oh!